Tonight from Central Regional High School. Hi everyone, I'm Ken Turp, and with me Jim Ruhnke, the former head coach of the Rams of Southern Regional. And tonight we're going to feature the Toms River East Raiders against the Golden Eagles of Central Regional. And it's the first appearance this year for John McIntosh and his Central club here on Channel 8. They are the underdog coming into tonight's game. Toms River East comes in with an even record, 7-7 on the year. And of course the Golden Eagles having some rough going this year in a rebuilding phase under the new coach, John McIntosh. They have one victory so far over Point Pleasant Beach. They would love to pull an upset tonight. And first of all, before we really get into these two teams tonight, I'm going to let Jim Ruhnke fill you in on exactly how the Shore Conference looks right now as far as the Class A South standings. We've got a couple of very important ball games coming up next week. So Jim, why don't you fill them in on what's going on?
Okay. Right now, the Shore Conference A South is deadlocked at the top. Lakewood and Southern Regional both have 2 losses and are currently tied for first place. Right behind them, and hoping that one of those teams falters, is Jackson Township. They have 3 losses. They're in 3rd place all alone. In 4th place is Toms River East with 4 losses, and they would need just about a miracle now to capture the title. I think 4 losses might be a little bit too much, but they can play a spoiler role as they have Southern Regional coming up in the near future. I think there's a big game going on tonight with Southern Regional visiting Toms River South. It's a tough place to play for Southern Regional, and it's a game they have to win before going into a big game with Lakewood next week. Lakewood also will be visiting Jackson Township, who upset them at Lakewood, and this will be a big game if Lakewood hopes to remain on top of A South. John, with me now is John McIntosh, first-year coach at Central Regional. And John, I was just going over the A South a little bit and kind of filling the viewers in on where the teams stand, with Lakewood and Southern tied for the lead and the games coming up. You've seen all the teams now. How do you think this is going to wind up this year?
It's going to go right down to the wire, I think. Jackson surprised a lot of people. They've been playing well lately. Southern has been playing very well lately. And now all of a sudden Lakewood's coming on too. So I think it's going to go down to the last game, and I'm going to go with Southern. I think they might sneak in there. I
think I might go with them also. Your first year here, I know it's always tough coming into a first-year situation. Central is in a little bit of a rebuilding process. And I know you're teaching at Lacey Townships, so you have some hardships. Just how difficult is it to get things going, and meet these hardships?
Okay, when I took the job, I more or less understood that, and it makes it much more difficult not seeing the kids on a day-to-day basis, and that's been a problem. Basically, our problem right now this year has been we've been hurt, and we're very small, and A South predominantly is pretty big. The kids have been playing well in most of the games. They've been hanging tough. Tonight should be a good game if we play well.
I would think you would be very proud of the way your kids have performed. I've seen you twice now, and your kids hustle. I mean, there's no lack of effort on the floor. And as you said, you are small, and that takes its toll during the game. What does the future hold for Central Regional?
That's a good question. Now, next year there's going to be a split, and the remaining juniors, sophomores, and seniors will be going down to Lacey, those from Lacey Township. It's going to be a good question. There's still a fairly good nucleus. Some kids were ineligible. Some kids will get better as the years progresses. They're going to drop down to B. I think they have a shot in the B division. I think they'll play a little bit better than here in South. They'll match up a little bit better. As far as the Lacey situation, that still remains to be seen how the kids will do down there.
What will the new Lacey school be? What group?
Okay, that's going to be next year. Will be independent. It's a Group 2 school, so they'll be C division the following year.
How about younger programs in pretty much both areas now? I think for any program to survive, you really need the presence of biddy basketball and recreational basketball. And how does that look in the Central District and the Lacey District?
I think up until this point, that has been one of the largest problems Central area has had, because it's a regional school and the region is very spread out. Whether they can remedy that situation is, still remains to be seen. The Lacey situation, that's a community. I don't think they're going to have that big of a problem. But as far as Central, that is probably the main goal of this area, to get a good biddy league and the younger kids involved.
One other question, Jeff Musselman has been out. What's his status tonight?
Okay, Jeff just returned against Lakewood Friday. He'll go just about 90-95%. He's not going to be a starter, but he'll see a lot of time, and he's ready to go. He'll be all right.
Okay, Coach. Well, thank you for coming on, and good luck to you. All right. Let's bring in Ken now with 2 players from Central Regional.
I know McGuire is the guard, so we'll talk to him first. Jimmy McGuire, 6-foot senior. And Jimmy, I want you to tell me a little bit about your club offensively this year. What are you running? Do you vary your offense? Tell me a little bit about it. What are we going to see tonight?
Well, mostly this year, we just try and get the ball to our wings, like Kachmar and Domani or Muss, who's ever on the side, because this year we lack height really bad. And sometimes we try and get inside, but it's just we're not big enough.
I would imagine most of the games, then, you probably had a lot of trouble rebounding with some of these other clubs.
Yeah, it's just if we had someone taller, I think we'd do a lot better. It's just we have natural forwards, and we don't have anyone who's really a natural center.
Now, Jim, you're kind of a new name in the lineup this year. Steve played varsity last year. Were you on a JV club, or did you back on the varsity, or what?
I started JV last year, and then I sat some varsity.
Now, you had a pretty good JV team last year, and of course you played for John McIntosh, who was the JV coach then. I guess it makes it easy playing for the same coach.
Yes, I played for him last year, and I generally know what he wants in that and what he expects of me.
Is this the fact you're having a losing year? Is that new to you? You had a winning year last year. Have you been used to playing on winning teams?
Yeah, because like 8th, 9th grade, 10th grade, and 11th grade, we all had winning years, and even the freshmen coming up this year, they had a better record than us. They were like 15-5, and last year we were 14-6. So it feels really different, being on a losing team.
Defensively, we're going to see a zone tonight since you don't have much height.
Yes, 1-2-2. Have someone on Scott covering him, and then we'll just try and clog it down because they're taller than us. And last time they really out-rebounded us bad.
Okay, Jim, I'll let you get back to your warm-ups and good luck.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Jim McGuire. Steve, of course, Kachmar played some varsity last year. Steve, last year you used to get in the ball games in the fourth quarter, and you really amazed me with your shooting. And I was wondering how you're shooting this year. You pleased with the way you're playing?
And I started off slow, but now I'm doing really good. I last like 6 games, I've been averaging 20 points. But I started off at the beginning of the year very slow, and I've been getting double teamed. And because of my height, it's been bothering me a little bit. Because I'm only like 5'10". Most of the guys cover me like 6'2", 6'3". So it's been a factor, but I've been working around it.
Seeing mostly man-to-man defenses this year playing against you?
Yep.
Now, you mentioned you got off to a slow start. Now, your coach tells me you just broke into the top 10 in the Shore, I believe, in scoring. And is that the fact you played football? Is that why you think you got off to a slow start?
Yeah, I didn't practice much basketball until the season started, And that's what I think really hurt me. I went out on the court, and I was too, from football, I was like going from the field to the court. And because of my height, really hurt me, If I was bigger, maybe I could get more points inside, but I had to rely more on my jump shot and my moves and stuff. And that's what hurt me in the beginning.
I understand. I know you're a great baseball player, too, as well as football. I heard a rumor you might not come out for basketball this year. You wanted to maybe gear yourself for the last year of baseball. Was that a true rumor? Were you thinking about it?
See, I'm doing a new position. I'm catching this year, and I want to work on the catching as much as possible, for the Golden Eagles this year, And I thought maybe if I stay, not play basketball and, worked on catching and stuff, it'd help out. But I'm doing a little bit of both now. So I worked it out with the coaches, So, I do it on my own, nothing with, Mr. Kunz or nothing, but for my own satisfaction, I do it. And it's like, that's the kind of kid I am. I'm, dedicated, and that's, what makes me good.
Well, I know we enjoyed watching you play football this year. I'm looking forward to seeing you play basketball tonight. And I know McIntosh is glad to have you, one of the bright spots on the team. And good luck, Steve. Have a good game. Okay. Steve Kachmar, one of the great athletes in the Shore area. Now we're going to get a couple guys from Toms River East in here that we haven't talked to. We got Darren Dietrich and Joe Scott. I'm going to let Jim Ruhnke talk to Darren, and I'll talk to Joe. And Joe, we had your father on. He's a TV star. I wanted to give you equal billing tonight.
Well, he does his own thing. He refs and I play, and he comes to watch a lot of my games. So tonight he's not reffing. He's watching one of my games. He closes out some dates and comes to watch me play.
You kid your dad at all about playing against his old alma mater tonight? Because Bob Scott, Joe's dad, was quite an athlete here at Central, and of course is one of the top officials in the Shore in basketball. Does you ever talk about that fact? You're going against his old school?
Well, it was a pretty long time ago, and things changed here, and so I really don't talk to him that much. He mentioned it. He went to school here, but he doesn't mention that much about it to me.
The fact that your father, now he never played basketball in high school. He was a football and baseball player, but yet he is a good official. Did that influence you as far as you growing up to be a basketball player?
Well, I think he liked the game. He thought it was an interesting game to watch, so he decided to get into it himself. And I guess that played a part, because when I was little, I used to go to all his basketball games, and you know, I used to enjoy doing that. So I guess that played a part in my getting influenced in the game.
Now, you're having a pretty good year this year, team-wise. Any chance the guys are going to be really taking Central lightly tonight, because Central only has one victory so far?
Yeah, I think there's I think we might take them lightly. You know, there's always possibility in the beginning of the game we come out, because they're probably going to be fired up. But I think we will play well tonight, because we know that we can't come out here and play light. We have to be ready to play tonight.
Okay, Joe, you got a good future, 2 more years. Good luck tonight and the rest of your career.
Thanks a lot, Mr.
Okay, Joe Scott. Jim, why don't you talk to Darren?
Okay. With me is Darren Dietrich, starting guard for the Toms River East Raiders. Darren's a senior, and he's having one excellent year. Darren, let me ask you, your club is 7-7, okay? You still have a lot to go in this season. What are you looking forward to for the rest of this season?
Well, right now we have made the states, and we like to get into the 16-team short conference.
Yeah, I think you have a good shot at it. You'd have to win some crucial games down the way. I think one of the big games will be Southern Regional, which you have upset and played to a 1-point game. You just seem to play well against them. Any special reason?
I don't know.
A big game,
yeah.
And it's good to play. What about yourself personally now? You enter your senior year. What personal goals or team goals maybe did you set for yourself going into your basketball season?
Well, I wish I could have scored more this year. I haven't been scoring as consistently as I thought I could, because at the end of the season last year I was scoring in double figures. And this year I had like 4 bad games in a row, like 8 points total in 4 games.
Well, I think you've contributed definitely in other areas. What part of the game do you like best? I mean, is it the scoring part?
Well, I like to play defense, because if you play defense, then you can get your points on offense if you play good defense.
I think you're absolutely right. The defense creates offense,
yeah.
And I see when I see you out there, oftentimes you're involved in steals, or you make things happen out there. All right, now how about the short conference Class A South? Lakewood and Southern are presently at top with 2 losses. Let's move up a little bit. And Jackson is third with 3 losses, and you have 4 losses, but there still are some games remaining. Do you think you still have a shot?
Well, if we can, if Southern can lose a couple games and Lakewood lose a couple games, we have a shot at it.
Well, I think it would be tough. I mean, you know, I think we both realize that. But, you know, until the last game is played, you do have a shot. You're not mathematically out of it. Okay. Well, listen, good luck tonight, and thank you for coming on. Ken?
Okay, Jim, I guess that sets the stage. We're all ready to go. Toms River East and Central Regional. Jim Ruhnke and I will be back with the opening tap. Let's take a timeout to look at these messages. And we're ready to go with tonight's ball game. Central Regional in the home white with the garnet and gold trim. And, of course, Toms River East in the traveling black tonight with the gray trim. And, Jim, I mentioned Steve Kachmar has come on into scoring and has moved up on the scoring list. And do you have a rundown on who's scoring what this year locally?
Yeah, the Ocean County scoring leaders are Jim Dolan is leading with a 28-point average, followed by James of Lakewood with a 21-point average, Jones, Southern Regional, and Cooney of Jackson tied at 19. Rounding out the top 5 is Guthridge from Manchester.
Okay, Central takes the tap. Jim McGuire, who we had on a pregame show, is the ball handler for the Golden Eagles, number 25. This is Steve Kachmar with the first shot of the game, and he hits it. 2-0, Golden Eagles score first. Foul on the play by Kachmar. You're going to find a very aggressive Kachmar tonight. It's the only way he knows how to play.
Yeah, I think it looks like you're going to find a very aggressive Central Regional team. Maybe they want to up-tempo the game, but they're starting in an all-out full-court press to possibly to create a running game. We're going to have to see how that goes.
Joe Scott's your ball handler on the point, number 21 for East. Dietrich in the backcourt with him. They were our pregame show guest. This is course, Robbins, 33, Bougash, 45, and the other starters, Verderosa, number 51. Jimmy Verderosa was our player of the game, our last telecast from Toms River East.
That's 2 quick fouls on the Central club. Could find themselves in a 1-on-1 very early in this game. Last time down, I believe Central Regional was in a box and 1, playing man-to-man against Joe Scott, playing a 4-man zone.
And there's the first shot missed. Verderosa fouls and banks it in.
Now, the reason for doing this is to take away their point guard, the fellow that sets up the plays and everything, to try to disrupt the club. Normally, you play a box and 1 or a diamond and 1 on a top scorer, but it is also very effective on a point guard or someone who does most of the team setting up.
All right, Bougash had a strong rebound. East broke quickly. Robbins missed a shot, and Kevin Bougash on the rebound gets the bucket for Toms River East.
This is where Central has been hurt all season long on the boards. They're a small club, and without excellent boxing out, they're just going to get hurt on those backboards.
This is Al Domani, number 15. Domani was quite a soccer player, in goal for the Golden Eagles on their South Jersey Group 4 state championship team under Coach Ed Gratian. And Domani gets a beautiful pass, missed the shot, in close. Traveling is the call against the Eagles.
That was a pretty pass off the drive.
The other starters for Central, Jeff Fenton, 43, is the center, and Jim Veltri, 33, is the other forward.
Again, pressure by Central, but East handles it very well.
Robbins gets the bucket, 6-2. Raiders lead over the Eagles.
Good pass by Dietrich, who's looking up the court. They find that open man and make the press pay.
Jim McGuire, the senior point guard, guarded by Dietrich.
Good job on defense right there. Good team defense.
Veltri gets the rebound. Veltri's a familiar face to me. He's my gas station man down in Forked River. He pumps gas, and that's how I know Jim pretty well. I've known him for about 2 years now. And I want to stay friends with him for the next gas shortage. Here's the shot from the corner by Delmonte. And
pretty good patience displayed. Nice bounce pass. Here's a great pass.
Beautiful pass by Joe Scott to Verderosa.
Most kids try to put that through on a straight pass rather than put it on the floor with a bounce pass.
Raiders 8-4.
That's a real fine play. East is playing good defense. They're just missing turning that ball over, making Central turn it over.
Domani hustles on the boards, gets the offensive rebound, makes the shot. 4 points for Domani.
It's a tough spot. He's trapped now. It was good defense by Central until the foolish foul. They had him trapped in the worst possible place the offense could be, and they committed the foul instead of trying to hold on a little bit and see what was going to happen.
I don't think we mentioned the officials for tonight's game. Dave Avino and Bill Henderson. We saw Henderson on Channel 8 recently. Avino, of course, the former defensive coordinator for Warren Wolf and the Brick Green Dragon football program, and now coaching at Admiral Farragut. Verderosa misses the shot, and here comes Kachmar.
Okay, so far East has taken almost all its shots within inside of 10 feet. In fact, all of them.
Getting good position inside. He's got 6 points.
Opportunistic basket.
10-8. The Eagles now lead. Joe Scott takes it all the way in. Beautiful pass. Verderosa can't hit it. Fight for the rebound. Bougash, and the center for the Golden Eagles, Fenton.
East doing a good job breaking the press. They're coming up with an offensive advantage, and they have to take it to the hoop.
Jeff Fenton's their big man, only 6'2", sophomore for Central Regional, jumping center.
Nice inside pass by Dietrich. Again, nice pass over to Robbins by Verderosa. East is playing well together. They can tighten it up on the defensive end.
Robbins got 4 points. He and Verderosa tied for 4 apiece. Domani goes in up with a jumper. Domani's having quite a first quarter. 8 points. Eagles by 2, 12-10.
Have to shut him down.
Scott breaks the press and travels.
It's going to be a travel.
Couldn't get a handle on the ball when he pulled up.
I think he bobbled early, and he might have had a pass right away rather than dribble at the length of the court.
Veltri slips and loses the ball to Dietrich. Scott driving layup, he's fouled. Dave Avino calls the foul.
When talking to Coach McIntosh, he said that Jeff Musselman is 90% ready to go, so I'm sure we'll see him in the game sometime this evening. Both teams playing fairly well right now. I think they're each is doing what they want, and it's just a matter of time till one team decides to shut the other one off.
Joe Scott gets the first free throw of the evening, and he misses on his first attempt. Two-shot foul as he was driving to the basket. And he missed both of them, in and out. But he gets the rebound. And Heath, ball goes out of bounds. Raider ball in their own basket. 2 minutes, 52 seconds left, first period.
The stack inbound should go right to Robbins.
They're having some tough shots.
Yes, they're around the rim and are just missing. And Central's, there's a good block.
By McGuire. Now Scott, long jumper, hits it right behind the foul line. His first bucket, 12-12.
Okay, good help again on the defense there, and Central handles it very well. Central's very much under control on offense.
There's the shot, nice shot by Veltri. He's got 4 points, Eagles by 2.
Again, both teams scoring very well because they're both getting good shots.
Verderosa takes it in. He's handling that press very well, getting the ball down quickly.
I think both coaches have to be pleased with what's happening on offense. Perhaps both are a little displeased with what's happening on defense.
Well, Domani finally missed a shot when he was all alone. Dietrich goes inside, maybe a charging foul. Now they're going to call blocking.
No, I think that's a good call. I think he stepped in after Darren had made his move, was up in the air. Then the defensive man stepped in, and that's a block.
Fenton drew the foul. So Dietrich goes to the line for 2. And we still don't have our first free throw of the evening. 0 for 3, Raiders.
That happens a lot when you play away. You come out and you're usually not quite as aggressive as the home team. You're a little tight, and I think it takes a little while to get into the game.
There it is. There's the first foul shot made tonight by Darren Dietrich.
East staying, looks like they're perhaps changed their defense a little bit to some zone trapping.
McGuire sets it up.
Now they go back man to man.
And here we have Domani on the side. The wings are Domani and Kachmar. High post is Veltri. Low post, Fenton. McGuire sees an opening all alone, and nobody picked him up.
Yeah, that was... the players have to step in and help out on that situation. That was just a little mix-up on it at the defensive end. A good move, though. A good move by the offensive player.
Central leads by 1. Dietrich gets a good shot inside, turn around, miss. And there's Fenton with a rebound. Fenton, the biggest player, is only a sophomore. Delmonte fires from outside, misses. And Bougash with the rebound. And the Raiders want to run. Scott dishes it inside. Beautiful pass to Dietrich. Bougash on the offensive board.
And that's going to count.
4 points for Kevin. 28 seconds left, first period. And Raiders go up by 1.
Last time these two teams met, I believe it was a 10-point Toms River East win. They had a larger lead throughout most of the game, and Central closed it a little bit at the end of the game.
And Bougash completes the three-point play.
Bougash has a pretty foul shot. He has a real nice arc, nice spin, just the way you like to see it.
All right, here we go. McGuire setting the play up, 14 seconds. Eagles probably going to play for 1. They trail by 2 points.
There's a travel.
Traveling violation on Delmonte. So now the Raiders have a chance to get a 4-point lead. They got 5 seconds to work with. They'll have to get it down in a hurry. Dietrich inbounds. And he does
Gotta go up. It's got to go up.
Robbins from
That
behind
looks
the
good.
foul line, almost. And that's the end of the first period with a score. Toms of East 18, Central Regional 16, and Jim Ruhnke and I will be back after this. With me, Jim Ruhnke, our game of the week. Toms of East and Central, East leading 18-16 after the first period. And by the way, I want to tell you that if you're having some problems with your color tonight, it's due to technical difficulties here at Central Regional, and there is a little bit of a haze in the color. It's not your set, it is the problems here. There you see the two coaches for Central. On the left is the assistant coach, John Kilmurray, and of course John MacIntosh we met during the pregame. They were teammates on the last really outstanding team they had here at Central back in 1972. They had quite a basketball team here, along with Pete Bell and Robbie Keys, and now they're coaching together here at Central. And Jim, both of them now teaching in the middle school, and neither one of them able to teach here at Central Regional.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit pre-game, and it is a difficult situation. You'd be amazed how much coaching you get done and how much nicer it is to see those kids. An alley-oop,
Dietrich, beautiful play. You certainly don't have much control, or you're able to work with your kids when you don't see them in school all day, and
well, I'll tell you,
meet them at practice.
Actually, what happens at practice, it's a tough situation. You have to be on them all the time, and you have to make them work, and there's some criticism going on, there's some patting on the back. It's during school when you can see each other in a more social atmosphere that helps out the entire program, the entire situation.
Okay, Raiders trying to capitalize on a turnover by the Eagles. They're up by 4 and broken up. Nice play by Fenton on defense as they tried to go into Verderosa.
I think Central is going a straight 2-3 zone at the present time.
Dietrich setting it up. Verderosa wants that ball in the post.
Toms of East, when they're patient, really work well against the zone. They have a well-conceived zone offense. I've seen it a number of times this year, and I've been impressed the way their zone offense has worked.
Scott misses the shot, and Kachmar got the rebound, tried to pass down to Domani the length of the court, and it's batted away by Robbins. So the Eagles will bring it down.
Yeah, Dave Robbins saved a layup there. Good athletic play.
Kachmar almost loses it, throws it back to McGuire.
East is also in a 2-3 zone. Kachmar is a good shooter.
Veltri's going to get a foul.
But not on that one.
Jim, I was a little surprised by the ease with which Neptune defeated Atlantic City in that big game up at Monmouth College last Saturday. Atlantic City had been very impressive in the Seagull Classic, beating power from Los Angeles, Bourbon Day, and reaching the finals against Camden. And Neptune apparently blew them, really handled them with the pretty good style.
I think everybody was surprised. Atlantic City's one loss was to Camden by about 25 points. They lost to Neptune by about 25 points. That doesn't say the teams are equal. Another pretty pass inside. Robbins with a tough rebound.
So but Neptune is now rated number 2 in the state behind Camden.
Right, it says a lot for shore basketball also.
Camden, of course, could be one of the, if not the best team in the country, one of the top 5.
No, I would say they're at least one of the top 5.
Here's Veltri from the side, no good. Kachmar, good position as the ball goes to the far corner.
Man open inside.
Fenton drives and misses. Fouls up his own shot.
Good foul. I think on that first miss, he dipped ahead. A lot of players do that. They got to keep your head up. You got to look up at that basket when you're going to shoot. Nice pass over to Robbins.
Robbins sits, nice drive. Good move along the baseline. 24-18, East got that lead up to 6 now.
See, this is tough for Central. They have to rely on outside shooting. They just don't have the big kid to go to for an inside game. And it makes it very difficult when you play against a good zone.
3-second violation called against Dietrich. So Central gets the ball.
And East is playing very smart. They're making him shoot over him. And it's just tough to hit that consistently.
There's a timeout called by John McIntosh of Central Regional. Looking at girls basketball, Jim Lakewood continues to roll along. And they've got a couple of individuals on that team that are very talented. And, of course, St. Joe heading for a showdown next Monday night, February 9th, with St. Rose. Those two teams are split. And that'll be a big one at St. Joseph High School, 8 o'clock on Monday night. And I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of that game.
That's right. I believe St. Joseph's is rated the #1 team in the Shore in girls basketball. And the Lakewood team, of course, is sitting on top of Class A South in girls basketball. With, I believe, Southern is in second place, 2 games behind, and they still have to meet one more time. So that could get interesting.
Kathy Leslie, of course, has done a great job down at Southern Regional. She was one of the greatest athletes to ever come out of Shore area at Shore Regional High School. Great field hockey player, basketball, and softball, too, I believe. And we'll have to see how Southern does the rest of the race.
Yeah, she's done a real fine job with the program, and I'm sure it will continue to grow.
Here we go. Central trailing by 6. 4 minutes and 50 seconds left in the half. We're here at Central Regional High School. Veltri retrieves the loose ball.
Good hands by Dietrich on that.
Kachmar open. Passes inside to Veltri. Turn around.
Side pass. It seems when East goes man-to-man, Central is able to get the ball in that 3-second lane in the paint, and they'll get some inside scoring. But when East is in a zone, Central has been pretty much limited to outside shots.
Bougash answered back for East, and now they go into Fenton, and we're getting some back and forth scoring here. 26-22. There's a kick. That'll be the ball go over to the Raiders as McGuire kicked the ball with his foot unintentionally. Dave Avino retrieves it right in front of our scorers table. Dave Avino, of course, a guidance counselor at Brick Township High School. Former head football coach at Neptune, and then quite a few years of Warren Wolf at Brick. Verderosa trying to get the pass, and they double-teamed him, and he is fouled. I believe they called it on Veltri from the front.
I believe so. And if so, that is at least 3 fouls.
Veltri's going to take a rest. Verderosa gets another one. Misses. The new man, by the way, is Mike Amato, a 6'2 senior, number 41, replacing Veltri. Jeff Musselman, by the way, has been out with a severe ankle sprain. He did play last week against Lakewood, and he's going to see some action tonight. He's normally a starting guard. Domani misses the shot.
Dave Robbins doing an excellent job on the boards. Nice fake.
Scott draws Fenton off bounce, and Fenton commits the foul.
It's a nice look-up pass from Darren Dietrich. Joey got caught a little bit too far under, but it was definitely worth a shot, and then he got the shot off with a real fine fake.
Speaking of Musselman, here he comes, and he seems to be walking all right, no signs of a limp. He was on crutches here at a wrestling match we did on Channel 8 about 2 weeks ago. Scott puts in the first shot.
You know, Jeff is he was providing a lot of scoring for him, but he's also basically their leader and point guard. And so you're losing a player that controls your club in a lot of different areas.
Missed the second one. Delmonte goes for the rebound. Goes over to the new man, Mike Amato.
They have a break if they look up.
Kachmar takes it in and draws the foul. Dave Robbins gets the personal. Steve Kachmar will shoot 2. Kachmar, quite a story. Talked about it during football season. Very ill his junior year, missed the whole football season. And he's come back, battled the odds, made all-sure in football this year. He's a brilliant baseball player, all-state already as a junior. And here he is playing basketball after a very, very serious illness. Makes the first shot.
Now, he's a very aggressive player no matter what sport he's in. A very athletic kid.
He said on the pregame show he's a very dedicated athlete, and he's certainly a lot of guts to what he's done and achieved. Here's Verderosa. He hits it.
It's a nice cross zone pass. You know, throw that diagonal against the grain. The zone starts to hustle over in the direction of the ball, and you throw it back the other way, and you often find someone open underneath. Good inside feed.
Domani's fouled. I believe that's Verderosa's foul. 2 minutes, 53 seconds left in the half. Toms of East leading Central Regional 30-24.
Domani had a bang-up first quarter. He had 8 points, mostly early in the quarter. He seems to have cooled down since then. We'll see if he can pick it up again with a couple of foul shots.
He makes the first one. And what a soccer season he had in goal for Central. What a season they had. Greatest ever, as they came very close to a state championship. Scott almost traveling there as he lost control. Verderosa misses inside. And here comes the Eagles' McGuire with the ball.
It's nice when a player gets the ball inside, you know, if you take that power step to the basket, I think it eliminates a lot of missed shots inside, like the one we just saw.
Kachmar takes the corner jumper off the rim. Domani hustling again on his offensive boards.
Good.
Musselman banks it off the glass.
Excellent assist to Kachmar on that one. Great.
Jeff has his first basket of the night. And Robbins comes right back.
Robbins is a pure shooter.
10 points for Dave.
You have to keep him further from the basket than that, or he can hurt you.
10 points for Robbins and 9 for Verderosa. High scores for East. Domani has 9 for the Eagles. Cross-court pass. Jim, do coaches like to see that cross-court pass against the zone?
It used to be a no-no. Now, it's very acceptable. In fact, we teach it. It's not really cross-court, but you try to throw some diagonals against the zone.
There's a nice swisher by Joey Scott.
That's off their transition game. Joey taking the ball down into the corner, and if the shot's there, go up with it before you start into the rest of their transition. Good step-up jumper.
And Kachmar hits it.
We're having a little bit of a shootout right now. Both teams red hot.
So the idea about those angle passes is to get an open shot before the zone can shift back across?
You try to catch the zone going the wrong way. They're following the ball real fast. Like, it'll come over to Robbins. Now, he could throw back to Verderosa there. See, there's a diagonal out of the corner. It's like a skip pass also. They call it a skip pass in some circles.
Bougash, offensive rebound and basket for Kevin. Kevin Bougash has 9 points also. Good balanced scoring. Three men right up there, 9 and 10 points apiece. Eagle ball. Substitution for Toms of East. Andy Gora, number 35, the 6'4" junior forward, comes in, and Kevin Bougash will get a rest. 34 seconds left in the half.
It's good defense.
Joe Scott all the way. Beautiful drive to the basket.
And I'd say Central needs a bucket here to close out the half.
9-point East lead.
It's a good move to the hoop.
And there's the basket by Mike Amato, his first of the night. Down to 7 seconds.
That's a good person to shoot it.
And the long pass, no good. That's the score, 38-31. East leads at the half. I'm Ken Turp, Jim Ruhnke with me. Central Regional and Toms of East, 7-point lead. Jim, I asked Joe Scott in the pregame if there might be a chance East, would be flat tonight and maybe, taking Central too lightly, the fact that Central comes in with only one victory. But they played pretty good in the first half, and Central did too.
No, East has played very well in their last 3 games. I think they're getting better as the year goes on.
Well, there's a collision there as Robbins went up with a shot. He draws the foul. He'll go to the line for 2.
I think that for East, they know they have to win just about every game remaining if they're going to make the Shore Conference playoffs, which this year it will be the top 16 teams in the entire Shore, Ocean and Monmouth County, and that will determine who's going to play, pretty much the record at the end of the year.
There's a shot at Dave Robbins. He has 11 points, make it 12, as he hits both free throws to start the second half. So the Raiders have a 9-point lead. Joe Scott hustling on defense, almost got the steal. Jim, it's a little chilly in here tonight.
Yes,
I'm used to these awfully hot gyms.
I don't know what you would.
I'd like to get a happy medium. Most of the gyms we go to, you're sitting here perspiring, and tonight my feet are cold.
I guess you would say they got caught with their boilers down or whatever it is, because it is cold.
It's a real cold night, and it's not much warmer in here.
Close to a 5 count on the inbounds. They just got it in.
This is Domani with the ball, and there's a steal by Dietrich. He'll take it in. And he draws the foul from McGuire. Two shots.
And he used his body real well. He made the defender foul him simply by the way he went in and used his body.
Don't forget, tomorrow night, Sunday evening at 7 o'clock, we'll have wrestling, Toms River North and Toms River South. Don Musselman and I will bring you the action. Dietrich shooting 2. Dietrich has 4 points in the game.
And if he hits this, East will have extended their 7-point halftime lead to 11. Something that I'm sure Central did not want to see happen early in the third quarter. East has had an interesting year. They played very well against some good teams. Unfortunately, they had a couple of poor games in the conference along the way, and they're just a little bit away. I think a lot of that has to do with that they're still new. I don't think you get a tradition going within 2 years.
Domani misses the shot. He was hot in that first quarter, but he's
rebound.
Cooled off since.
Right now, East is running well. They're getting the ball out, and they're getting down the floor. Good penetration by Dietrich.
Robbins fouls on the rebound. Misses the shot, and he's still got the rebound. Now he's tied up. Jump ball, Dave Robbins jumping with Veltri.
Again, East on the backboard. Offensive board's hurting Central simply because they just do not match up height-wise. You can do all the coaching you want, and sometimes you're just outmanned.
There's the rebound by
Good tough
McGuire.
rebound inside. Good.
Fenton is fouled inside by Bougash. Jeff Fenton, the sophomore center, will go to the line for 2.
Give Veltri an assist on that, an excellent bounce pass to the pivot.
Jim Ruhnke and I will be at St. Joseph High School a week from tonight for the game with the Purple Roses of St. Rose. And you'll see that on Saturday night, February 14th at 7 o'clock on Channel 8. And at first it looked like it would be a big mismatch, but St. Rose pulled a surprise and beat CBA, Jim, and we saw CBA beat St. Joe in our Channel 8 game last week.
Yeah, CBA played real well against St. Joseph's, and I was very surprised to see that St. Rose, I would call it an upset, 59-52.
Pat McCann, usually always one of the stronger clubs around in parochial ball at St. Rose. This year he does have, I guess you would call a rebuilding year, and yet he was able to dump the CBA Colts. So we'll see what happens. Pat McCann and Steve Gepper, longtime friends. Of course, Steve Gepper used to coach at St. Rose.
Yes, that's where he started. And St. Rose has a very tough for him this year because every game is away. They had the fire in their gymnasium, and so every game this year is being played away. This will be the second time they're visiting St. Joseph's in Toms River.
Of course, everybody knows that Bob Verga was one of the all-time greats at St. Rose for Pat McCann when they were state champs 2 years in a row. And I'm looking forward to seeing Pat. We were involved in the Jersey Shore Summer League together when he was the commissioner, and always good to get together with him. I hope it turns out to be a real good ball game.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. Pat's a very respected coach in the Shore area.
There's Fenton canning the shot.
Just off the hands. You like those passes against the press to be sharp and to the person. You don't like to lead them too much or throw those lobs up there.
42-33, 9-point lead for Toms River East. Veltri hits the shot.
They cut it back to 7, the halftime margin.
8 points for Jim Veltri.
They're coming with a little three-quarter court. 1-3-1. Good pass by Dietrich.
Dietrich on the rebound. Verderosa, and Fenton finally pulls it down for Central. Approaching the 5-minute mark of the third period.
This is not a bad move by Central Regional in that it just gives them something new to look at, something new to adjust to. If it doesn't work, you can always go back to your regular D.
Veltri has 2 baskets in a row for the Eagles. 42-37, Raiders lead. Steal by Fenton, and then he walked, trying to get rid of the ball. He took the step. East ball on the side. Joe Scott to inbound. Scott almost lost. Robbins recovers quickly. McGuire looking for the steal. Verderosa from the baseline.
East has missed a lot of 5-6 foot jumpers, and you know, if they start to drop, it could hurt Central quite a bit because they are getting the ball inside.
Almost a steal by Robbins, and then he dribbled on the sideline, out of bounds. Jim Verderosa has 11 points for East. Delmonte, almost backcourt. That was kind of tricky there. Domani gets fouled in midair by Robbins. He'll get 2 shots.
Yeah, that was an interesting pass. I didn't see where it came from, but Billy Henderson was right on top of it. I'm sure he would have had it.
Dave Avino hands him the ball. And he misses the shot. Some of the games coming up on our schedule, I mentioned St. Rose, St. Joseph. We also got the North-South basketball game. Domani makes the second shot.
They cut it to 6 now.
And
still in the 1-3-1, trying to get a little trap.
Bougash open. He hits it. Kevin has 11 points.
See, if you can beat a press, no matter what type of press, it's got to pay on the offensive end. East did that early to Central, and they just did it on that particular offensive time.
Turn around by Fenton. He can't make it. He goes for the rebound. He's over the back of Bougash, who had the position. Might mention, Jim, we're going to have Toms River East on Channel 8 one more time when we do their February 17th game at home with St. Joseph Griffins. And that should be a good matchup.
I think it'll be a real good matchup. They played first opening game of the season, and St. Joe's played well and won by quite a bit, but I really think it's going to be a very good game at East.
Here's a 3-second violation on Bougash of Toms River East. Central takes over. They're trailing by 8. 3:30 left, third period.
You know, you like to make use of every possession. You know, you hate to go down without at least making use of it and getting a shot off.
Domani finally broke the press, and then he palms the ball.
There's another turnover. Both clubs now guilty of a little bit of poor ball handling and mental mistakes. Jack Brace yelling out patience. He wants to settle them down, slow them down a little bit, run their offense, do the things that they practice, and generally it leads to a basket, as it just did.
Verderosa, the turnaround jumper. East leads by 10, their biggest lead. Now McGuire sets up, guarded by Dietrich. Kachmar with Robbins on him.
Robbins is doing an excellent defensive job on Kachmar.
He made him throw the ball away.
You notice that he hasn't taken that many shots this entire quarter, and really not even in the game. I think he's doing an excellent job. He's working very hard at it, and he's playing them very tough.
Here's Dietrich, misses the drive, and he hustles to get that ball into Joe Scott. And Kachmar actually tapped that ball in, I believe.
Little showtime from Joe Scott with the up and under move, and then a nice tap from Verderosa.
Verderosa is going to get credit for the basket. Kachmar was up there with him. 12-point lead for East.
And not in the one-on-one yet, so they'll inbound underneath. Go to the weak side for the jumper. Supposedly he gets it up.
Robbins rebounds a quick outlet. Scott all alone.
Got to be a timeout right now for Central. I don't think you can wait any longer.
14-point lead, 52-38. John McIntosh not signaling for timeout. He is standing up. Here's a steal and Scott. And here's East breaking the game open here in the third period with 1:53 left.
That was a sweet play by Darren Dietrich. He caught the ball and got rid of it all in one motion. The change in tempo by East going to the press, give credit to the coaches for changing the strategy, because it definitely has caused the turnovers.
Jim Veltri has 6 points in this period, Jim, and he has 6 of the 8 Golden Eagle points. There's a timeout called by Central. John McIntosh, the head coach of Central Regional, of course, maybe people don't know this, but his dad was a coach here for a long time under Joe Boyd in football. They were together when the school opened in 1956. And Jack McIntosh was the line coach for Joe Boyd all those years that Joe Boyd coached. When Joe Boyd passed away, Jack McIntosh retired. He's still a teacher here at Central in the Industrial Arts Department. And I had him for a teacher back in 8th grade in shop. So that goes back a good many years.
I guess so.
So, of course, John played football for his dad when he was a football player here for Joe Boyd.
I really like John McIntosh. I think he's a good young coach. He's just starting out. He's going to feel his way a little bit, and I think he's a gentleman at all times. He works at the game. He's a student at the game. He's willing to learn, and I think he'll be very successful.
You were involved with him in the Ocean Gate Summer League, right?
Yeah. Well, John runs the league, and Bobby Scott and Playboys of Seaside Heights sponsored a team that I was coaching with some high school kids on it, and so I got to talk to John quite a bit in the summer and work with him, and I think he runs a class operation.
Well, the situation is a 1-minute 33-second clock for the third period, 54-40, as East put on a splurge there to break this game open. Scott fires in a jumper, and they continue to be hot.
That's a set play from the out of bounds, from the sideline out of bounds.
13 points for Joe Scott.
Again, the press is still causing problems for Central. They're a bit tentative coming up. And when you're down 16, that's a very difficult position to be in.
Kachmar, nice drive along the baseline.
That was an excellent move.
8 points for Kachmar. We're under the final minute now, the period.
Central goes into a man-to-man. I think they know they're behind. They have to do something.
Joe Scott almost. Bougash fouled on the rebound. There's a foul underneath. And it's going to be Delmonte charged with a personal.
It's the foul was a one-shot foul, and they're not in the 1-on-1. Oh, yes, they are.
They are now.
We're going to shoot it.
43 seconds left, third period. So Bougash goes to the line. 1-on-1. You wouldn't believe what I hear in my headphones. I'm getting serenaded by our director in a truck or somebody. I don't know. It's unbelievable, Jim. You don't have to wear headphones. You don't have to listen to this nonsense that I get.
Bougash, second shot. Yeah, he gets them both. Extends the lead to 16 now. Good steal by Robbins.
13 points for Kevin Bougash.
Referee right on the job. That was right in front of me, and the ball definitely hit the line. I didn't think he saw it. He certainly did, though.
Jim, do you want to give me a prediction on the Southern Lakewood game when that comes around?
Well, it's easy for me to predict because I don't have to sit on the bench and then live up to it. I don't want to put pressure on the Southern, but I think Southern will win it.
Kachmar got that last bucket for the Eagles, and they have Raider ball here with 19 seconds left at the Raider end of the court. Joe Scott will pass in. There you see Joe. And there's a drive by Dietrich, way off. He gets the loose ball. Bougash to the basket, no good. Rebound finally made by Mike Amato, back into the game for the Eagles.
It's a good shot.
Open. Good hustle on the rebound by Kachmar. No good.
Ooh, they're counting it.
They're going to count it. I thought that came here to the buzzer, Jim.
I agree with you. I think it was definitely after the buzzer, but it's just one of those things. It's in the book now, and it counts.
Dave Avino said make it good, so that's the end of the third period with a score. Toms of East Raiders 58, Central Regional Golden Eagles 46. After the truck is giving me his version of Muzak in my headphones.
Tap controlled by East again. That's, I believe, all four.
Here we go, last quarter. And right away, Bougash right to the basket.
On an assist from Joe Scott.
East is not going to let up, 60-46. Toms of East leading Central. Our game of the week on Channel 8. I'm Ken Turp, with me Jim Ruhnke. We're at Central Regional High School. Delmonte, open shot, he hits it.
That's the shot he was hitting early in the game.
His first field goal since the first quarter, Jim. And he has a total of 12 points. Bougash, nice bank shot. He ran into his own man and still got the turnaround jumper off.
Excellent inside. Here goes a steal.
Robbins gets a credit Bougash with a steal.
Nice pass from Dietrich to Scott.
And they're going to give it to Central. Jeff Musselman back into the game. Played sparingly in the first quarter, first half, coming back from the ankle injury. Going to see some action here in the final period.
Central's not out of this game, but you have to realize they have to do it with defense. You can't do it with offense. You get 2 points for each score. You know, you can't make them up by getting 4 and 6 points. You have to be patient and get your 2. But what you have to do is eliminate the other team's scoring.
East is only going to give him one shot also, Jim. Dietrich on the pass from Joe Scott.
That's an outstanding play. Outstanding fast break.
Domani hits it.
That last one was a connection between Joe Scott and Darren Dietrich. Both of them excellent plays. Joe on the passing end and Darren on the leaping in the air and putting the ball in the hoop.
Musselman steals the pass.
Pass intended for Bougash, a little bit misplayed. Jeff's got to look for his shots there. He's not being guarded. Joe
Scott across the timeline. Toms over East by 14 points. Now Scott sets up the offense.
I think they're going to get organized now. Central's in a man-to-man. I think they want to get organized, run their offense. Here's a set play. They're going to reset, start again. Nice pivot cut by Robbins. Just off on the shot.
Veltri couldn't get the hand on the rebound. He loses it. Raider ball under their own basket. Robbins inside and scores. Strong move to the basket.
Yeah, again, that's their out-of-bounds play. That's been working all year for them. It's a very, very good out-of-bounds play, especially against zone. I've seen it work just about every game that we've watched them.
There's a steal by Verderosa as Musselman tried to hit Veltri. 14 points by Dave Robbins in the game. Bougash on the layup. He draws the personal.
East is just playing confident basketball right now. They're going up and down the floor with ease. They're looking for the break, and they're just very relaxed out there right now and playing very well.
Veltri got the foul. I believe he's got 4. And the Eagles take a timeout with a score 66-50. East leading 4:51 left to play in this ball game. What do you think about some of the other divisions this year in boys basketball? We got Manasquan leading Class B South with Asbury Park runner-up. Ocean leading Monmouth. Well, they're tied, actually. Ocean and Monmouth. Long Branch right there in the race. What do you think about some of these other teams as far as the short conference playoffs, Jim?
Well, I think probably the most interesting situation is in Class B North, where Ocean and Monmouth are tied and Long Branch is 1 game behind. They still have to play each other 2 out of the 3, and that's going to make things happen in that conference. We could see some co-champions. I believe Asbury plays Manasquan once again in Class B South, so that's going to close the gap a little bit. I think this year's format of having 16 teams, the top 16, done by a seeding committee. It's no longer voted on by the coaches, but a seeding committee will seed them 1 through 16. And that will be the Shore Conference playoffs. Now, if you win a championship, you're automatically in it, but you're not guaranteed any particular seed. And obviously, Neptune's going to go in a big, big favorite, but, I've seen the stranger upsets than that.
Bougash on the line makes the first one. How about Class A North now? Does Middletown South have one more shot at Neptune?
Yes. In fact, I believe they play this week. And that will decide the title. If Middletown South can upset them, we could be looking at co-champs there. But from everything I hear of Neptune, that's a tall order.
Yeah.
A tall order. Back to the action here. East, a little pressure. Now they're, I believe they're in man-to-man.
Musselman hits the long jumper, and Dietrich fouled him. Musselman has a chance for 3-point play.
Good shot by Musselman. It was a mix-up in defensive assignments, I think, by TR East that time. Players have to communicate with each other a little bit better.
Jeff Musselman, who received our Player of the Year award at halftime, along with Stacy Hall, the co-offensive Player of the Year for Central Regional's Golden Eagles, already into Harvard University, and he makes the play. Here comes Robbins, and he passes off to Verderosa, and he had the position inside.
Another excellent pass by Dave Robbins. Penetrated well, looked the defense away, and then threw the pass back across the 3-second lane.
Domani, intimidated by Robbins, arched the shot over him, missed. And here's a foul. Veltri got the rebound. And I believe he called it on Bougash, 45.
Yeah, he was going for the big block and picked up the foul instead.
Verderosa has 17 points in the game for East. They're getting big games from Bougash, Robbins, and Verderosa and Scott. Nice, even, balanced scoring.
Yeah, they're playing very well together. And Darren Dietrich, who has scored 2, 4, 6, 7 points to date, has also played a very good floor game. and been active on the defense and on the boards.
Veltri missed the first one. He gets one more. Eagles trailing by 17.
I believe East is going with an Ironman crew tonight, right? Have we had a substitution?
Yeah, we had one substitution. Veltri makes the second shot. We had Gora in briefly in the second
There's
period.
A great play again.
Bougash from Scott.
That play started with a great pass down court from Verderosa, and then just an excellent play between Scott and Bougash.
21 points for Kevin Bougash. Long jump shot by Steve Kachmar from the corner. Kachmar now has 8 points in the second half, 12 in the game. Verderosa fires long range. Robbins inside on the rebound, draws the, no, he's traveling. I thought he got fouled. He traveled as he went in for the shot.
Yeah, shuffled the feet on the fake. I think the last one by Jim Verderosa was a little indecisive. You know, he was looking for the pass, and then he got caught in the air and had to shoot the ball.
72-56 Raiders. On our post-game show, Kevin Kingsley will come out and sing for you folks. I've been listening to it all night, so you're going to listen to it.
There's a nice play.
Nice play by Veltri.
Nice roll to the hoop with a good pass inside.
Here comes Robbins and loses the handle. Everybody got a shot at it and rolls out of bounds underneath the basket. Timeout called by the Eagles.
It's a good time.
3:19 left.
Good timeout by East. They're getting a little sloppy right now, and I think they want to, coaches remind them that the game's not over yet, and let's start handling the ball a little better. This is
Jim, I was going to ask you, go ahead.
This is the first time I can that I can think of in a long time that A South has been this close amongst this many teams. There's actually 3 that still have a very good shot at the title, and you know, it's been a while since it's been that close. I think last year Jackson won it with a 9-1 record, so they pretty much had it sewed up early. Although, you know, South was in it till the end. 2 years before that, Southern Regional went undefeated in the in-league play, and before that, again, it was Lakewood and Southern as co-champs, and previous to that, I guess it was Lakewood itself. So this year, there's 3 or 4 teams all have a shot at it, and all have had an effect on the outcome.
I see Jackson listed second in Ocean County in defense behind Manchester. And I guess that's Workman's game, isn't it? That Jackson stressing that defense?
Yeah, I think they opened it up a lot more this year, though. They are running the ball more, and they're playing more opportunistic basketball than they have in the past.
Here's Robbins on the rebound. We're down to the final 3 minutes. Long pass to Bougash, and he traveled as he tried to go around, turnaround jumper in the lane.
Yeah, East is looking to go. Now, their players are, you know, it's like holding back a horse. They want to go now. They think they can go on the break and have a little showtime. And their coaches, you know, they want them to be under control and do the things you need to win tough, close games.
East really controlling that backboard. 3 black shirts up for that last rebound. And Central only getting 1 shot at a time. And they're not going to be able to get back in the ball game when they're only getting 1 crack at it.
That's right.
Joe Scott on the line for the Raiders. Doing the job on the boards tonight. Great team effort. Jim Verderosa, Dave Robbins, and Bougash very strong on those rebounds.
Tough MVP tonight.
Joe Scott swishes the free throw. 14 points for Joe. I think we're going to have a co-MVP tonight. Jim?
Well, I'm sure this has been a 5-man effort out there this evening.
Musselman passes out to McGuire. He dishes off to Veltri, and he misses the shot.
Kachmar on those boards. He's small, but boy, he gets up in the air.
And he hooks it in.
A lot of effort, a lot of heart in there.
Kachmar, of course, and Musselman will team up in baseball as 2 of the standout pitchers from last year on Central's team that won all the marbles and everything last year.
That's a dangerous pass right there across the side by Joe Scott.
And by the way, Kachmar told us on the pregame show he's going to move to catcher this year when he's not pitching, so he'll be catching Musselman. So those two will be teaming up and working together quite a bit in baseball. And Kachmar hit over 400 last year as a third baseman. There's a timeout as the Raiders go to the foul line. 2:05 left to play in this ball game. Jim, I would think tonight that, well, I think we got to go with Bougash as one of the co-MVPs. He's the highest scorer.
I think he's had a good inside game.
And I thought maybe, well, it's either going to be Robbins or Scott. We had Verderosa last time, so maybe we can
I think
diplomatically get out of it that way.
I think both Dave and Joey have played a very good game. Dave's been real active on the boards, hit some good shots. Joe has, handled the ball very well, has a bundle of assists. I don't know how many at the present time.
All right, our Tri Awards tonight will go to Dave Robbins, Kevin Bougash, and Joe Scott. They are the outstanding players of tonight's ball game. And Jim Ruhnke and I will talk to the three of them and Coach Brace, the Bear, after the ball game is over. So stay tuned for that. Congratulations, Dave, Kevin, and Joe. 2:05 left on the clock. Raiders by 14. They've been in command as they crack this game open in the third period. There's big Jim Verderosa, formerly known as the Beast, when he was quite a Little League baseball star on the Mid-Atlantic Champions a few years ago. Missed the shot.
I think they're going to go up. You get in the end of a game like this, there is a pretty good spread, 2 minutes to go. I think you see that quick whistle on the jump ball, and rightfully so. The referees that have that little bit of experience, they know how to control that game.
Talk about three sports stars like Kachmar and Musselman. Here's Verderosa, great football player, great hitter in baseball, and a darn good performer in basketball. It's tough to get those kids that can stand out in three sports and excel at all of them.
Looking around, I think, you want to get the shots up right now.
Scott rebounds. Dietrich in the corner.
And they back it back out now. Hold it out. It's good to work on these things because when you need it in a 1 or 2 point game, you've had some practice under fire. A lot of people won't understand why you hold it. But this is great, great practice for you right here.
Joe Scott drives down the lane. Foul is called by Bill Henderson. McGuire drew the foul. High scorer for Central, Veltri and Domani, and Kachmar did the scoring tonight for the Eagles. Domani has 14. Scott makes the first one. Veltri has scored 15. There's Dietrich and Verderosa getting a hand as they leave the game.
I think a nice hand from their fans. Both did an excellent job this evening.
Kachmar has 16 for the Eagles. And Scott makes both free throws. Into the ball game, Bill Mayerson, number 15 for Toms River East, as Musselman scores. 7 for Jeff.
Jeff doesn't look like he's lost any of his shooting touch during his, time out with his injury.
Jerry Harney, number 13, also came in for Toms River East. Harney, a senior, as is Mayerson. Here's Delmonte all alone. He hits.
Well, you got an easy basket for a sub. You like to see that. That East wants goaltending on that one. I don't know. There's another easy one underneath.
Bougash fouled and missed a shot. 23 seconds left. McGuire again on the foul. And Mike Amato reports back in for Central, number 41. There's a close-up of Kevin Bougash. Quite a game tonight by Kevin, one of our players of the game. Every time we take a close-up, the official stands in front of our camera.
This is Mike Benson coming into the game for Joe Scott. Michael's just up from the JV team. I believe this is the first night up being dressed with the varsity.
All right, Mike Benson in, replacing Joe Scott.
And number 44 is Dave Anderson, replacing Dave Robbins. Dave is also up from the JV for the first time this evening.
Bougash misses, and it'll be Eagle ball. 21 seconds left in the game. Another substitution, Andy Gora back in. He saw action in the first half. Back in for Toms River East. And Kevin Bougash taken out of the game.
Kachmar from way out.
Musselman gets the rebound. Missed the shot. And Gora in there for the rebound, taken away. Amato missed the shot. Tap in by Delmonte.
And that's going to finish it. I don't think we'll see any more scoring. Shoot it!
That's the end of the ball game. Toms River East 76, Central Regional 60.